my presentation for staging. The name of my company is Lake Houston Lifestyle, and I am an accredited ASP stager. And HAR offers courses, and I took the coursework through them. And that's where I got my start. I've been an appraiser for over 30 years, so I've looked at 2 or 3 houses minimum every day just about, and I know what sells houses. I can just walk in a house and just from that perspective. And so staging kind of fell into being something natural for me. Now, a couple concepts I would like you all to consider. The most important one, and it's a hard concept to convince your seller of, but this is something that you really need to do, is convince them that this is no longer a home. It's a house, it's a commodity, it's a product. We're going to market it. And so they need to listen to you about marketing their home. So of course they're going to listen to you. You're going to do your prepare the listing price for them, your marketing plan and everything, but include in that how to make the house look the very best that it can. And especially for you guys, think about this. If you had a vehicle that you were going to sell, if you were going to market it, you'd make sure that those rims just were shining. The whole inside is armor all. It would look its best. The same thing has to happen with a house, okay? And that's what staging basically does, okay? It's professionally preparing a home for sale. And staged homes typically present themselves better by the clean lines. And remember that our buyers are always going to be looking at their phone or their tablet. They no longer call us and say, pick me out a couple houses to look at. They're going to call us and they're going to say, I want to look at this, 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 and this. And they're basing it on the fact that they've already looked at the photos and they know that this house is something they want to see. Probably because it's been staged, or the particular owners have taken very good care of it. Now I'm going to move through these kind of fast because y'all don't really need to look at houses. I'm going to show you some of the things, though, that staging does target in these houses. For instance, this is the home that we staged. This was a couple years back. If you walk in the front door and you look to the left as you're coming in the door, you'll see that originally there was a vacant area. We filled it in with the dining table because there's a chandelier. I mean, that's just kind of a common thing. You would expect a dining area there. We create or make everyone aware of the purpose of that room. And a lot of spaces you'll walk into in a house, people will go, what's this room for? The other thing, we arrange the furniture to psychological advantage. As you can see on the left here, it's just kind of a hodgepodge, whereas we came in and straightened it all out and we gave it some clean lines. People are not looking for a bunch of stuff in a house. They want to see clean lines so they can kind of start thinking about their own furniture placement. They don't want to see clutter. They don't want to see a bunch of personal photos. Not that your seller has to take every photo off the wall, but please, please get the majority, get it simplified at least. And you can counsel them at this, okay? One of the trademarks of staging, of course, is always to have place settings in any type of dining area. It kind of welcomes the person in. Once again, depersonalization. Who wants to see everybody's diplomas? Who even cares? The master ensuite, which is what this is a very, very important selling part of homes. The master suite is, a lot of people won't buy a house that doesn't have a master suite. And look at how nice this master bath looks after it was staged. I mean, what can I say? The next one, even a teenager's room can be staged. So you're going to run into a lot of homes and a lot of rooms that look like this. And if you can't counsel your buyer, your seller, on how to straighten it out, that's when you need a stager to come in and to tell your seller how to do that. Now, the facts about this particular property, it was sold the day it was placed on market for full price. This is following staging. So if that doesn't convince you, we've got more. One little snippet from this, you may want to read all this, but the main gist here is 10% of prospective buyers can visualize a home looking any different than the way it looks when they walk in the door. So 90% need help. And one other fact that I didn't include here is that Buyers typically make up their mind about a home within the first few seconds that they're in the front door. If the home does not have walk-up appeal, they may not even get out of the car. So here's another home that we staged, and I'll show you the sales results on this home also. So what can sellers and their agents do to catch the attention of home buyers? Well, first of all, we're talking about making that shift from home to house. And you'll see in this home above the fireplace that there are religious photographs, artwork. In this multicultural society, particularly here in the Houston area, we have to be really careful because there are people of different faiths. And sometimes they'll walk in a house and they'll just feel that they can't live there because a Christian lived there and they're Muslim or vice versa, whatever. So we have to be really careful with that. So it's always preferred to take anything religious with religious connotations down. Another thing is the cluttering. I mean, the collectibles. You'll see that there's a teacup or spoon collections, that sort of thing. These things have a way of getting broken or walking away, and that will make your seller very angry. In these photos, this dining area, once again, we've set the table, and the nice little pops of color really give it a nice look. This is a beautiful kitchen, and if you look at the left, you'll see it's just cluttered as can be. But on the right, it looks like it should. We coach our sellers on how to live in the house and keep it showable on a daily basis, where to put these things conveniently so they can reach in the cabinets below and bring out what they need. Here's another view of that same kitchen. On the left is after it's been staged, obviously. I probably don't need to tell you that. And here's the master suite. All we did basically was flip the bedspread over, put a landscape version of artwork, and we did not bring in anything to this stage. We used everything that the seller had in her home. And of course, we always have the window shades open to have some natural light come in. Now, the good story about this one, of course, this is from HAR. This home sold within 6 days for full price. Need I say more? So what has caused all of this popularity in staging stems a lot from HGTV. And if any of you have watched it, have you ever seen a finished property that wasn't staged? I mean, it's just an expectation. It should be an expectation with your listings. So let's talk about that for a second. So a lot of the realtors that I work with are giving staging consultations as part of their listing package, and they're being very successful with it because it's an added amenity or a bonus that they give. Now, I'm not advocating that you go in and you pay to have a home staged. We can work with your sellers to get their home staged. We can do that. But if you'll just open the door and have them have a consultation, it's written. We a lot of times give them photographs so they know where to go. They pick and choose what they want to do, and if they need help, there we are. We can help them. And you are the winner. If you try to sometimes coordinate this yourself, you can become the enemy real fast. So let us take that over for you. Let us be the bad guy and tell them what really needs to be done. Now this was one of my listings. I'm a broker, and we brought in a lot of accessories to this home, but we used their basic furnishings. Simply because they had pets, as you can see, we did not want to bring in rental furnishings that may end up smelling like pets, and that dog really didn't smell bad. He smelled pretty good. Define the purpose of rooms. We moved the seating out of this room to give a dining area because there was absolutely no dining space in this particular home. So we just set a small table and chair, and they could expand on that and put a huge dining set if they wanted, but we wanted to at least put in the mind of the buyer the fact that we did have a space for a dining area. Arranging furniture to psychological advantage. If you look over to the left, you'll see a gun safe with tubs on top of it. Imagine marketing a property that looks like this. So what we did is we moved furniture from the other room, angled the furniture, and you'll see it in the next photo, put a screen to cover up the gun safe, got rid of the buckets, of course, and put in some greenery. Managing emotionally attached clients. Once again, you'll see the configuration of the couches, the kind of V shape, and it really worked well. And this is a converted garage space into living area, and it really made it look nice when we were done. You're going to have clients that just cannot get rid of those photos. That's where you need us. We will help them get rid of them. We will let them keep some. They can keep some, and they'll feel comfortable keeping some. But we will get them started packing, and that's what they need to do. Get that house cleaned out, get some of those things in storage. I'll take a look at this one. And if you think you're going to not ever walk into a house that looks like this, you're totally wrong. I have seen many of them. Emotionally attached again. And look how clean and uncluttered it looks on the right side. And we add things that buyers like, such as coffee bars. Everybody's into coffee bars this day, so that's what we added. Once again, the concept is shifting from home to house. Got rid of the dog bowls, got rid of the dog bed, put in some greenery. Appealing to the male and female psyche. How many times we walk into the master's ensuite and we find flowered wallpaper all over the place, or pinks and colors that are just not appealing to both genders. One of the things we aim to do is neutralize it, but still give it color pops. But we definitely do not steer, except for maybe in the children's, the secondary bedrooms, will we ever have gender-specific colors. This room also, we made it flow so much better by matching up the furniture. We took pieces from other rooms so that we at least had the same color furniture. And this, obviously, a great difference. And we depersonalized the bath, like their cotton balls and their Q-tips. Put them in something nice. Don't have them all over the counters. This particular property this bedroom had an issue with the flooring. There was a bad slope to the flooring. And as I say, this was my listing. I brought in an engineer, and they did an engineering report, said that the home was okay. There were no structural problems. So we went ahead and staged it, but cleaned it up, as you can see. And staging will help offset some negative factors to a home. We always stage, to some extent, the covered patios and porches. Now, vacant staging, if the home is totally vacant, you can go two ways with it. Leave it totally vacant. It may take a little longer to sell, or stage it. It's a little more expensive because we have to rent the furniture. We don't inventory all our furniture. And that was a little more traditional, and I like to go with the draperies and everything. We didn't want to have to change those out. Picture this. Would you ever know that this is a master bedroom? By looking at the photo on the left. By looking at the photo on the right, once it's staged, you understand what it is. Take a look at this one. Can you even tell that there's a house back there on the left? Seriously. So that's another part of our job, is amplifying the walk-up appeal. This was one of my listings, and as you can see, oh my gosh, they had a brown raggedy door, and I had them at least fix the door. They fixed that and painted it. I got them to do that, but that's the most that my seller could do. She was on a very tight budget. So I hired someone to power wash. You can see that the brick is still wet. And I actually went in and landscaped and put mulch, the black mulch, and you can see how much better it looks. Within 11 days from the date that I landscaped it, if you want to call that total landscaping, we were under contract. So, especially in today's market, homes will compete against a huge inventory of available homes. Those homes are all on people's cell phones and tablets. So it's extremely important to make a property stand out. And I just throw this in because I love this one. Because another thing that we do is we help people transition. Somehow I ended up with a blank slide here. Didn't mean to do this. Is reaching out to stage me. And the story behind this one is, I was working with a widow who had a larger home. I sold her larger home, and I also sold her smaller home that she moved into. And we helped her transition her furniture from the larger home to the smaller. And so you can see how cute it turned out. She had specific color choices, and we stayed with those. And we had a lot of high-end finishes, I think, that gave the house a really, really nice look. So if you have clients, let's say they're handicapped or maybe they're living in another state, they can't get moved in, we help them transition into their new home. That's one of the services that we do as staging. You can see the difference between the foyer unstaged and staged. It's so welcoming. I love the dining area that we're going to look at next. And you'll notice there's an archway here that leads to another room. And that room did not have a defined purpose. So we gave it one. We set up a little wine area there and a little bistro table so that it kind of flowed with the dining room. The lady did not have a use for a third bedroom. She wanted a TV room. So that's what we made from her third bedroom. So we can adapt to people's lifestyles, and you can use us to help your clients make their transition. This is the master ensuite here, and you can see how nicely it turned out. Hallway bath. I'm moving through these quickly for a reason. So what does staging consultations cost, and what do you get for it? Okay, they range from about $150 to $300. We do a written report. We go through every room. I bring in my staging team. We go through every room with the seller, and they pick and choose what things they can do. If they have that bright red dining room, we're going to counsel them to paint it. We're not painters. We can get them some contractors that can do the painting, but 9 times out of 10, people can do those things themselves. So we sit down with the seller, with your seller, and we go over what they can do. Now, following, I'm going to show you something that'll probably take your breath away a little bit at first, so get ready. This is the before, and this is the after, and this was staged by the owner. We did a complete consult with her for $150. Her realtor paid for it. This is what she was living in on the left. And notice this pretty artwork here, this yellow artwork. I'm going to show you where that ended up, because it had no purpose there. She got her kitchen and breakfast area straightened out. I think she did a nice job with it based on our consulting with us. Here's another view of it. But now you can see that artwork sits in the living area. And it looks so pretty there, and it serves a good purpose. This was a huge bookshelf before staging. And the dog was very friendly, by the way. This is another view of it. And we told her you could see this as you came in the front door. You could see this. It was at the back of the house, but you could see it. We helped her stage in our consultation. We went ahead and helped her stage, showed her how to stage the bookshelf. She had some things left behind, like an aquarium with a skull in it, but we couldn't convince her to move that. But anyhow, this is the end product, and it did look a whole lot better. She set her table like we coached her to do. So my point in showing you all of this is that your clients can do a lot of this. Some of them just don't know what to do. So that's basically what we show them what to do. They can always call us. This particular property is in pending status after 35 days on market. And I can guarantee you it would have been on market 90 days the way it looked before. Holiday staging is another thing that we offer. And you may say, well, what does that have to do with us? You may have a property on the market during the holidays. And if you want to kind of have an edge over the other realtors, let's say your property owner has packed up everything that they have, everything out of the attic, they have no Christmas decor. Well, we do. We have plenty of Christmas decor. We can come in and decorate. You could re-photograph those areas that are decorated for Christmas and change your photos on your MLS. Catch some attention there. Staging for seniors. Now, if you have the senior citizen that is moving from their huge home, transitioning to a smaller home, or maybe even going to some stage of assisted living, we can help with that. We can help them with packing, as we do for anyone else. Move coordination, furniture placement. We'll sit down with them and see what's a good design for them, and we will always keep in mind that it has to be safe for seniors. No throw rugs they can trip over, that sort of thing. And once again, we are ASP home stagers, accredited stagers. We do pro bono a project every year. And this past year, we staged a facility up in Town Ball, and you can see it turned out really cute, lots of blues. Just tooting our own horn with that one. So let's reiterate here. The importance of staging is to make the first impression of the home positive and inviting, enable the buyers to envision themselves living in the home, show the full potential of the home, make the home visually appealing for online listings, for those cell phones and tablets. And in short, sellers and realtors need, representing sellers, need to stage their homes with the assistance of an accredited staging professional, and you will have the best results. Here's a couple of items. Staging is not decorating or interior design. It's detailing, decluttering, depersonalizing, and preparing a seller's home to give it a model home appearance. We all love our model homes. According to NAR, 77% of realtors representing a buyer say that staging makes it easier for the buyer to visualize a property as their future home. Quite important, I would say. This return on investment is such an important concept to convey to your sellers that the longer they hold on to that home, the more another mortgage payment, taxes, another month of taxes, another month of HOA, it all keeps accruing. So why not get that home marketed as quickly as possible and reduce their return on investment, increase their return on investment, excuse me. 62% of realtors representing the seller report that staging a home decreases the amount of time on the market. This is per NAR 2017. 49% of buyers realtors report that home staging increases the dollar value offered. And important to all of us, we'd love to go to those model homes. And most builders will have 3 to 4 models staged. And we can wander around in those, especially I think us women. We really love doing that and getting ideas for decorating our own home. But why do they do it? If it wasn't important, would they do it? We stage all styles of homes. I've never done a treehouse. So here's our pricing. We'll sum it all up with our pricing. Our staging consultations run $150 to $300. Vacant staging is going to be the most expensive. We go to Court or Aaron or Houston Furniture Rental and we rent furnishings. We rent them for a 3-month time frame simply because once you get under contract, you still got another 30 to 45 days to close, and you never want to destage before the day of closing. So we get the best price break by a 3-month stage. We also do what we call soft staging, and that of course is at a lower price. That's where we come in and use their furnishings and accessorize. We do the same thing with occupied staging. Sometimes we can get away without using any of our accessories and just rearrange what the seller has. And of course, we help the seniors at an hourly rate. And here are just some of we're fully accredited staging professionals, ASP, and we belong to the International Home Staging Association, IAHSP, and we are dedicated professionals with a goal, 2 primary goals, to make the home sell faster and for a higher price. Here's some of my background: real estate broker, certified general appraiser, and accredited staging professional. And I will leave this up if you want to see any of my references. And I am open for questions if anyone has.
Thank you, Linda. Let's remind everyone, most of you guys are on mute. If you have any questions, make sure you unmute your device, your electronic device, and you can ask Linda some questions regarding the staging. I noticed, Linda, you were showing those pictures, and it's amazing how it makes a big difference. Just moving things around or putting them into a different room, you know.
Golly, yes. And it's so amazing to me that people will actually get out boxes and say, "Can we start packing up right now?" Imagine, so they get those collectibles. I've been in houses where they've had 300 of those little Hummels. I mean, what buyer really wants to go see somebody's collection?
In your experience, when you've staged homes before, or when you stage homes, do I'm sure you hear feedback and what have you, as far as, hey, guess what? We kind of, you were giving those already testimonials about the data where it's sold in 6 days or it's sold in so many days. You see that quite a bit right after you do the staging, like in your experience.
when a home is nicely staged, most of the time you're going to have multiple offers on it
Mm-hmm.
because it's just going to look that good. You're going to have that many people wanting to look at it. And that's the whole thing nowadays. Buyers buy off their phones.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
Yeah, on those prices, typically the seller is the one that pays for it.
Typically,
Yeah.
yes.
Do they?
But like I'm
And
saying, with the consultation, we sit down with them, and you'd be surprised how much the seller's going to do certain things. They're going to want to power wash. They're going to want to do, most
right,
sellers are going to want to do certain things anyhow. And if we can coach them to do the things that are going to get them the best return.
right. Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? It seems pretty silent out there. I see a lot of. There was like 15 people.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. Any specific questions regarding the staging?
Well, if y'all want to write down my number, and if you do come up with some questions, call me anytime.
Okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap it up then. If nobody has any questions, thank you so much, Linda, for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Fernando, for having me. I appreciate that too.
Okay. Bye bye.
All right, we'll talk soon. Bye bye.